Hey, good evening, everybody. Sam Thunder here. Tonight, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about some of the baseball card purchases, the collection purchases that I made this 2020 past year of 2021, and some of the things I've learned from some of those purchases that I've made, the good things that have come out of it, and the learning opportunities that I took away. So, there were three in particular I wanted to discuss with you tonight. They were all from either Facebook Marketplace or from Craigslist. And so they all have kind of like their own stories, all of which I made the purchases. It's just the outcomes were a little bit different. First one I wanted to discuss came from Facebook Marketplace. The day it was in the summer, I think it was late July or so. I was at work, and I'm just kind of going through Facebook and checking all those vintage card app groups on Facebook, and then I came across a marketplace ad that was showing an ad for a collection purchase from this woman that was selling them, and it was like a long, like one of those plastic storage bins, and she took pictures that had cards that were definitely from the 70s. And I think she mentioned that they were that in the ad there was cards from 1972 to 1981, and it was over 5,000 cards. From the pictures alone, you could not tell what was in there. It was pretty much a lot of, it looked like commons, and it was a little nerve-wracking because the cards were stacked with in rubber bands with no protectors. So really, you could only tell based on the stock photos that were there what was in that collection. But I was intrigued because the price was pretty reasonable. It was about 170. I think it was $170 for over 5,000 cards, and the risk, there was low risk with a high reward in my opinion. So I reached out to her and I asked her if it was possible to go through them just to kind of get an idea, but she said no. She just wanted to make the purchase and kind of just move on from there. And so after some thinking, I decided to tell her, okay, I'll bring some cash with me. And then probably about a half hour later, she messaged me back. I was getting close to my end of my shift at work, and it would take me about 30 to 45 minutes to drive up north to where she lived. And so, but she messaged me right before I left, right before I was about to leave, and said that there was somebody who was interested, and that she wanted to give me the chance to make the first purchase since I was the first one who reached out. And she said, if you can Venmo me $190 right now, then it's yours, and I'll hold on to it. You can come pick it up tonight. So I was a little nerve wracking because with Venmo, I don't think you could get your money back if you pay somebody. Once it goes into the account and into another, that's it. But I decided, you know what, I feel good about it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I did the 190, and I drove up north, and she gave me the address where to go and her phone number to reach out to her when I got there. And so I finally arrived. It's kind of like in a very, not a rural, it's kind of like an upscale rural neighborhood, like about 30 45 minutes outside of New York City. And so I was really excited but also very nervous at the same time. And so uh, I guess she directed me to a friend, like a friend's house, I guess. So it wasn't her house, but it was a friend of hers, and I guess they were meeting up there for whatever. And so it was her and her husband, and like, I guess at that point I found out that her husband was getting rid of his entire collection. And so we had a little, brief conversation, just talking about how this was his collection growing up, and he was, really wanted to make sure it went to a good home. And of course, I told him, I'm a collector. I mean, I do deal, but very small scale. So I was primarily taking this in for my own collection. And so we made the deal. It looked like everything was packed up in that same plastic bin. And so packed it up in my car, and I drove back home. And on the way, I just kind of pulled over because I had to see at least one of the stacks. There was probably, I don't know, maybe a good like 30 or 40 stacks. I can't remember. Excuse me. And so I mean, I'm gonna pull footage from the live stream that I did on this just to kind of get some snapshots because I think I can showcase what was in there. But I started going through it, and the stack that I went through had maybe a couple of stars. So I was thinking, well, there wasn't anything major, but I was for the 190, it was definitely worth it. And so I took it home, immediately came onto YouTube and did a live stream with y'all. I think I have a video somewhere as one of my older videos. It's probably it was took about probably about a good like 3 weeks to sort through everything. And then it took, I mean, as the time progressed, I mean, this is from July all the way to now, even I had to sort through these cards and be able to organize them by which year they were and what, if they were commons or if they were stars, Hall of Famers and such. And from that video, if some of y'all watched it, if y'all didn't watch, you can check it out. But just a little spoiler that collection ended up becoming probably one of my best purchases because it included about 4 or 5 George Brett rookie cards, 2 Robin Yount rookie cards from the '75, a bunch of Dennis Eckersley rookies, a single Mike Schmidt rookie card. I don't think there were much 72 stars. Might have been a Willie Mays or something or Hank Aaron, but nothing I can't remember being substantially rewarding that from that year. But 73 had a lot of great cards. 74, 75, and so forth had a lot of great stuff. Like a bunch of Andre Dawson, Dale Murphy rookie cards, and it was for the 190 definitely made it back just by the George Brett rookie cards alone, which I did sell a number of them, but I kept one for myself. Next collection purchase that I made was probably back in October, if I had to guess. It was kind of like spare the moment. I saw that there was somebody who was selling a collection which showcased a 1966 Mickey Mantle, a Koufax, and a Willie Mays, probably the highlights of that collection, as well as like just an entire table worth of vintage sports cards, baseball cards, actually primarily from again from the '70s. So um, I was kind of running errands because I was leaving work, and then I needed to kind of organize my baseball cards. So I knew I was going to be running an errand to find a bookcase, which you can see kind of right behind me here, which has all my stuff so far. And so I purchased a bookcase, and then after that, I also reached out to this guy. I think this was also Facebook Marketplace, and I said, hey, I can come up north and check out this collection. And so I took out some cash on me, just in case. I ended up making the purchase and wanted to at least have money on me. So after running this errand to get the bookcase, I drove up north and went to this guy's house, and he had a table set up or in his garage full of the baseball cards, like little boxes and bins full of stuff. And so I was kind of going through it, and there was literally just it had like a arrangement of cards, like a bunch of Ozzie Smith rookie cards, I think a couple Ricky Henderson rookies, the Mantle, the Mays, and the Koufax I was telling you about, the '66. And then there was like a box full of binder sleeves with like just team baseball cards from the '70s organized by team. So there was like a bunch of Nolan Ryans, Tom Seavers, things like that. And looking at it, I got really excited because I was kind of trying to build up my collection. And at that point, I had that one big collection purchase that I made, like I just told you about. So this is going to be the second one. And so after looking at everything, I think I made an offer of like $600 or $650. He had his listing, I think, was about, I can't remember what it was, but I said about $600 or $650, and he seemed interested, and but I think he was a little apprehensive because I think there were other people who wanted to come see the collection, and I think he wanted to give other people an opportunity to do it. And so, but I was very determined to really get this collection. I thought it was really, really cool, a lot of great stuff, and became a very much of an impulsive purchase on my end. So ultimately, he was reluctant to sell the collection. I think he wanted to kind of figure things out, and so I really kind of I went up on the price considerably, and it went all the way up to like 950. I went up to like 900, which was my maximum, and he said 950 and it's yours. Looking back to it now, um, listen, it was a great collection. Was it worth 950? No. I definitely overspent. Became a very impulsive purchase. I think I was just kind of starstruck by what was on the table. Um, the quantity plus the quality kind of definitely got the best of me. Um, I mean, when I sorted through the cards after the fact, the condition of the cards were not in the greatest shape, and to me, it probably didn't equal out to that amount, and it was a lesson learned. It was a learning opportunity going forward that I need to be okay with stepping away from collection purchase. Listen, I mean, there were some great cards that came of it, and uh, and so, it was a learning opportunity, and so that purchase, I still have a lot of those cards, and it did help me because I was able to complete a lot of sets that I've been working on and still am working on. So there's a positive that came out of it. Finally, the most recent sale was from on my way up north to the Catskills for Thanksgiving. The day before Thanksgiving, I made an arrangement to meet this guy who was selling 6 or 7 binders of 60s and 70s, actually even some 50s too, baseball cards, and he had a price of $400 for it. And so on my way up, I decided, well, this is on the way to the Catskills. I'll stop in Kingston, where this guy is. And he was cool and said, hey, let's meet at this so and so place. Like I think it was like a gas station, kind of like right at the major intersection before you get on the kind of like the parkway that goes into the Catskills. So I stopped at the gas station. He was there, and he had the baseball cards waiting, and he actually brought a chair with him, which is really cool for me to sit down, and very, very cool to let me go through everything. Very jolly guy. And so um, it had, I mean, y'all may have seen the video. If you didn't, there's the videos there. It was right before Thanksgiving, and it had there was one binder that just had stars among just so many stars, and had a lot. Everything was sorted by year, and each binder had its own year. So it showed like 73, 74, 75, and then there was one binder that kind of had a mix of stars from various years. And so I was able to uh, look through them all, and I came up with a price of about $250. And he was very cool with letting them go for that price. He was telling me that I think he wanted to try to give them to his kids, but his kids didn't want to deal with them. So that's how we ended up us meeting. Is that he posted on Craigslist, and I was one of the first, I think probably one of the first or a couple people to respond. And after checking it out, I thought it'd be a great kind of a little holiday gift for myself to kind of sort through. And I was not disappointed. There was a lot of great cards in there, like a Robin Yount rookie, a George Brett rookie card. There was a 59 Lou Brock, a lot of different 50s cards. I think there was, I can't remember the name of this Yankee, but I found out that there was like a card that was from, based on Beckett's price, was like in the poorest condition. It was a $100 card from like 1953 or 4. So there are some really cool cards in there. You could see in the video, and that was also like a really really good purchase for 250. You got a lot of great stuff, and I'm able to kind of sort through and be able to make sets and be able to do give cards away in my giveaways. Some really good stuff to do from there. So those were 3 of the purchases that I made this year. Like I said, there's a lot of learning opportunities. I think if I had to give advice as far as what I can do better going forward, and advice for anybody else that's looking to also purchase collections, is to be able to walk away, to say no and walk away without kind of getting that guilt feeling, not guilt, but feeling regretful. because it's very easy to make that impulsive purchase when you see something, but you have to kind of factor in the time that it's going to take you to sort through things, and whether or not there's enough there that you can appreciate and enjoy over time. So I think the best thing to do if you're looking to purchase a collection is to make sure the price is right for yourself, and also to make sure that you get a chance to at least look through, if you can. I mean, in the instance of my first collection purchase, the price was low enough to take that risk. But like on a collection that's $600, $700, I don't think there's anything wrong with spending some time and getting a chance to look through the collection that's there, which was the mistake that I made. I kind of didn't really take enough time to look through what was there, and acted on impulse. But that's it. That's about it for today. I wanted to kind of share that with y'all. I hope you enjoyed these stories, and going forward, as you know, we have tomorrow is going to be a big day. I'm going to be going around to different card shops that I frequented before just to see what they have. I have $100 to spend, so I'm going to hopefully find some really cool stuff to purchase. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and to be kept in the know for future videos, hit the notification bell. Thank you so much. Have a great night.